Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to review another horror movie. This time, it's the horror movie called Barbarian. Yes! Now, Barbarian is a 2022 American horror film. It was written and directed by Zach, I think it's pronounced Krieger. The film stars Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, Justin Long, Richard Blake, and Matthew Patrick. Now, in this film, a woman staying at an Airbnb discovers that the house she has rented is not what it seems. Ooh, secrets, yes. Now, you know, horror fans, when it comes to horror movies that have a normal settings, they can make a film be successful. You know, like renting an Airbnb apartment, schools, pubs, bars, or nightclubs that are normal settings that you wouldn't expect anything weird or crazy or anything nuts to happen in those type of settings. Now, depending upon the filmmakers, the movie can go in two directions. You can either have the typical cliche characters and killers, or you can try something completely different. Now, luckily, writer-director Zach Cregger has chosen the former in his entry into the genre, simply called the Barbarian. Now, we have Tess Marshall, who's coming into Detroit for a job interview, decides to rent out an Airbnb apartment in a rundown neighborhood, is surprised that there's another person staying at the apartment as well. What the hell? Holy double booking! Now, the guy's name is Keith, and while displaying some awkward and strange behavior, he does manage to convince Tess to spend the night as there are no other rooms available in the area. Now, after coming back from the interview, Tess finds that there's more going on to the apartment, and later on, both her and Keith have to fight for their lives because, as I stated before, something's not right about this whole apartment that they're staying into. Now, you really have to give Zach Krieger credit for coming up something interesting for a setting in this type of horror movie. Now, known mostly for comedy, Zach becomes the latest comedian who has crafted an excellent horror film here. Now, just like what John Krasinski did with A Quiet Place 2, Jordan Peele with Get Out, Us, and Nope, and of course, you can even count Danny McBride in the Halloween series, or even Prometheus, even though he didn't have nothing to write with it, he actually starred into it. We have all these comedians now getting into the horror genre, and they're all creating fantastic horror films. All these films, including this one, are pretty good. Now, I love how he writes his characters as Tess, who is unnerved and cautious with Keith at first, does all the right things to protect herself. You know, when you find yourself in a situation that Tess finds herself in, she does all the right things that you're supposed to do when you're meeting a person you have absolutely no clue who they are. And I like that aspect of the character that Zach has created here with Tess. Now, I even like the setting, a normal looking apartment where we wouldn't suspect anything until Tess discovers a secret while in the basement. I also like the fact that Tess doesn't make dumb decisions that we've seen before in many horror films. You know, she does the typical thing that we all would love to see other characters do. When she finds herself in a certain situation, she goes, nope, 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 I'm not going in there. Now, of course, obviously the film has to continue, so curiosity does get the best of her, but it's the right decision that you see Tess do. And I love the fact how Zach gives that character credit for doing the right things and eventually going ahead and investigating the strange noise that she hears. Now, this creates the tension and suspense that is needed for a horror film like this, as it also raises the stakes because we, the audience, cares what happens to Tess because we like the character. We want her to survive because she's a very important character here. And I really like to give Zach credit for making her a smart and intelligent person. You really have to give credit for the two leads. First of all, Georgina Campbell, known for an episode of Black Mirror and the 2021 horror comedy, All My Friends Hate Me, and of course, Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise the Dancing Clown in It Chapter 2. They have great chemistry together. No, as I stated for the fact, I like how in the beginning of the film, Tess is very weary and awkward and really doesn't trust Keith at all. When they eventually find a bit of a common ground, then she becomes more relaxed, and that's when we can actually see they really starting to enjoy each other's company. I like that aspect of that. It's something that you would like to see more in horror films. Even Justin Long, who makes an appearance right around the second act of the film, is great as sitcom actor A.J. Gilbride, a real douchebag who we find out what his connection is with the apartment. Now, when the secret is revealed, it's something I didn't expect, and Zach does a great job in presenting what's really been happening in the apartment. We get a couple flashback scenes right towards the end of the third act of the film as to what has been going on in the apartment, unbeknownst to anybody else. So I really like how Zach does that. Something not expected. I mean, it's something that you would typically find. It's really not really surprising, but it's something totally unsuspected. So you really got to give Zach credit here. So, along with some decent jump scares, some excellent directing and writing, good performances from all the actors, Zach has taken a normal setting and created a very decent horror film. I really did enjoy Barbarian. Now, is it the so-called masterclass or one of the masterclass horror films? No, no, I don't like it. I mean, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to sell the picture, probably get non-horror fans to actually see this. But to me, it's still a decent horror film, so I really did enjoy it. So I'm going to give Barbarian 3 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Giving it 3 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, hey, maybe more comedians should try to do horror films, right? So there you have it, guys. That is my review for today. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share because it really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Money G, and always remember that horror rules. I see you in my next video. I'm out.